you to another edition of the program, The Gallery. My name is Mercy Alexander, and we have a guest in the house. He's a politician and a lawyer. His name is Mr. Eyitayo Jegede, SAN. So sit, relax, I'll be right back.
Eyitayo Jegede, SAN, is a legal practitioner and a politician. He attended St. Stephen's A Primary School, Modakeke, Ile-Ife, and was at Aquinas College, Akure, from 5th January 1973 to July 1978 for his secondary education. During his college days, he took active part in sports in the best traditions of the family. He had his higher school certificate education at Christ School at Ekiti and was the school's volleyball captain both at Aquinas College, Akure and Christ School at Ekiti. He also captained the university volleyball team at the University of Lagos, where he had his law degree course. Eyitayo Jegede, SAN, qualified as a lawyer in 1984 after successfully completing the one-year mandatory program at the Nigerian Law School, Victoria Island, Lagos. He served at the then Gongola State, where he started his law practice. He was a counsel with the law firm of Murtala Aminu & Co. in Yola for 12 years and practiced extensively in the northern part of Nigeria and built a legal practice with special interest in litigation, commercial and corporate law, after which he established the law firm Tayo Jegede & Co. with offices in Yola and Abuja in 1996. In 1992, he was appointed a notary public by the Chief Justice of Nigeria and was elevated to the rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria on 16th December 2008. He was deeply and actively involved in political cases and election petition matters, an area of law where his industry and practice is noted and respected. In 2009, Eyitayo Jegede, SAN, was appointed Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice under Dr. Olusegun Miraco's administration, where he served for 2 terms following the re-election of the governor, a position which he served until he voluntarily resigned in 2016 after 7.5 years. He is a member of the Council of Legal Education in Nigeria, the body responsible for setting standards for legal education in Nigeria. He had served twice as chairman of the Nigeria Bar Association in Yola. Eyitayo Jegede, SAN, is a passionate philanthropist and community-friendly public officer that identifies with the lowly in the society, a technocrat in government who has passionately served his state. He is happily married and blessed with 4 children.
I welcome you to the program, sir.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
So who is Eyitayo Jegede?
That's my name. My name is Eyitayo Jegede. I'm a lawyer by profession. I qualified as a lawyer in the year 1984. I was elevated to the rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria in the year 2008, specifically December 16th. I was at some point in time the Attorney General of Ondo State for 7.5 years, making me the longest serving Attorney General in Ondo State under the democratic rule from 2009 to 2016. I resigned my appointment sometimes in July as the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice to take a shot at the contest for the governorship seat of Ondo State. I was said to have lost the election, and then since then I went back to my practice. The year 2020 again, I took a shot at the position of the candidature of the PDP for the same governorship seat of Ondo State. And I am presently the candidate of the PDP for the election slated for 10th of October 2020. At
about what point did you venture into politics?
Well, I came to serve in Ondo State in the year 2009, specifically May, when I was offered the opportunity to be the Attorney General of Ondo State. I was in that office watching and participating in governance. The year 2016 was which I call the magical year. There was a lot of discussions going on between myself and a good number of people from the states. And at that point in time, I made up my mind to run for the office of the governor of Ondo State. So I took part in the primaries in that year and took part in the main election on the 26th of November, 2016.
So what do you have to bring on the table for the people of Ondo State?
Well, I have a private sector experience spanning many years. I have a public service experience spanning 7.5 years. And I believe that given my background and having served as the Attorney General of Ondo State, I believe that I have seen the rudiments of government and how it worked. More importantly, I have seen the challenges faced by our people, the Ondo State people, and the suffering that they've had to go through in the hands of successive governments. Not entirely the fault of government, but again because government can be more transparent, government can impart more positively on the life of the people. I believe there's need to look at the education sector. I believe there's need to look more at health sector. I believe that there should be some level of high infrastructural development in the state. I believe that there should be job creation for our youths. I believe that farmers should have a better income in the state because this is basically an agrarian state. I believe that tourism should be a high point of government focus in the state. And I believe that there are other areas that we can look at that would engender growth in our economy and in our state. The totality of all I've said is that Ondo State can be better in terms of development and in terms of growth.
So what do you have to say about the educational sector?
Well, primary education, secondary education, tertiary education. I have a clear idea of what I think should happen because it has to do with imparting knowledge. There is first part of it, which is the infrastructural development. The other part of it is about the personnel, that's the teachers. I believe that we should be able to provide a very comfortable environment for learning, both at the primary school level, at the secondary school level, and at the tertiary education level. I also believe that teachers are critical parts of our educational growth. And for that reason, I believe that with some little bit of more incentive for the teachers, they should be able to do their jobs more. I also hold the view strongly that we need also to watch the teachers. And that is why I am an adherent of the inspectorate of the education system, checking the teachers who should be checking the pupils. And there should be a form of evaluation for all our teachers and our principals in school. I believe that we should set standards for teachers and all those who are in the educational sector to ensure that where they perform well, they are adequately rewarded. Where they do not perform, the appropriate disciplinary measures are also applied. That basically is my idea of education. Basically, primary education, secondary education. The tertiary education is also a different sector. It's a sector that I believe should be critical to the growth of our state because that is the particular state that you prepare our children for the challenges ahead. Interestingly, we have 4 tertiary institutions in Ondo State. We have the university in Okitipupa, we have the university in Ondo, we have the other university in Akumba. Again, we have a polytechnic in Owo. Now, those are institutions that are created by the Ondo State government, basically to serve the people of Ondo State. In other words, our people, the Ondo State people, represents the catchment area of those institutions. So as much as possible, I believe that government should be able to bring them on board in the critical growth of our young elements. Now, having said that, I am not happy with what we have at present, especially the high tuition fees. that has been the high point of this administration. In my view, what the present government has done is to reverse, by many steps, the achievements and growth that previous administrations have achieved. Now, for instance, before this government came into power, that's precisely 2017, the tuition fee in other institutions was ranging between 25 to 34,000 naira. But as soon as they came in with their cries of a positive change, or a change according to them, what they did was to first increase the tuition fees and take it beyond the reach of the common man and beyond the reach of the average Ondo State citizen. And that leap took us from 35,000 to about 150,000 to 200,000 in our universities. The effect of this is that a good number of our students who ordinarily should be in the classroom learning are out of classroom because of the inability of the parents to pay. For instance, where you have a family having about 3 or 4 children who should be in the university, you have them now restricting the number to 2, for instance, and keeping the other 2 at home or having them to do some menial jobs. And that gap is now being filled by children from other states. And I'm saying this with all apologies. You now go take a check of census of our students in the universities from 2018, 2019 to 2020. You find out that while the intake from Ondo State has dropped drastically, the intake from other states has risen also drastically. What you have in effect is that because of inability of our people to pay, they now first either go seek admission in some other universities that are cheaper, like Kogi State, for instance, or drop completely out of school. That does not represent the future that we all look at. It does not represent the values of the average Ondo State citizen. It does not also represent the thoughts of the founding fathers of the Yoruba values and culture that we all cherish. So I think the first thing to do, in my view, is to reverse this policy. It is retrogressive. It is not progressive at all. It is sheer wickedness, because the funding of government should be directed at the critical areas. We do not have so many industries in the States. The industry that we've had from time immemorial, and which we are also proud of, is the education sector. And any attempt to kill that sector should be resisted politically. And that is why you have few of us coming to contest elections, because you do not stay off and allow evil to prevail. And to that extent, there will be intervention in the university sector, and then we will open the gates of our schools to our deserving students and deserving children who should be in school. We want to keep them in school, because the challenges ahead are great. You would find out that because of the complex nature of our country, and because that the opportunities out there are so limited and the contenders are so many, you need to have as many people as possible from our state to go out and contest for those positions. Not political contest this time around, but seek public offices, private offices that others have leveraged on in the last few years. It's important that we keep our young lads employed profitably, not only in the state sector, but also in federal sector. And you won't be able to do this unless you're able to bring out graduates who are thoroughly bred and who are schooled in the sectors that they have chosen for their future.
Now, quick one, sir. If you are being sworn in as a new governor of Ondo State, what are you going to do about this kidnapping that have been existing for so many years in Ondo State that is making the people of the state very scared?
Well, I think this applies basically to the northern senatorial zone. Critically, it's not as if you don't have such incidences in the central or in the south. They are, but they are not as prevalent as you have in the north. And you have the north is a large expanse of arable land, a long stretch. That part borders Kogi and Edo states. And then you find out that there are incursions into our farmlands by cattle herdsmen who come in with their cattle, and also some other elements who we all refer to as kidnappers now. Now, the first thing to do, in my opinion, which I think we will do, which I believe we will do, is first of all to create neighborhood police. Secondly, to engage our traditional rulers in a way that they will be able to give out information about those who come into town, those who move out of town. Thirdly, which is also critical, is to establish police posts, as many as possible around those areas. And because establishment of the police force is under direct control of the federal government, all the state government has to do, and which we will do, is to build police stations all across those areas with within a specified radius, where you have security men who are armed, who should be able to take care and control incidences of kidnapping. Again, because our military is very critical to this, the government, which I will lead by the grace of God, will also build barracks, mini barracks, that will take, I do not know, 200, 300 soldiers at most in those critical areas, and plead with the federal government to draw the personnel into those areas so that they can provide necessary security around that zone. Legally speaking, we would also look again at the law. When I was the Attorney General, we had the anti-kidnapping law, which was prepared by the Ministry of Justice under my watch. There's need to look at it again so that we ensure that all those leakages in those laws are blocked. And then all we need to do is to enforce the laws and apply it as fully as possible to act as deterrent to those who are actors in the business of kidnapping. That's my idea.
What do you have to say to the people of Ondo State?
Well, I tell them, like I always do, that we have a connect, we have a relationship. And then for some of us who are in this business of politics, we're not in the business of politics for the sake of seeking office, for the sake of it. We're in the business of politics to improve the lives of our people, to ensure that our youths have jobs to do, not only jobs that will be provided by the public sector, but jobs that will be provided by the private sector. It is my dream to ensure that our people in Ondo State are taken away from the mindset of looking for jobs to the mindset of those who provide jobs for the people. A good number of our graduates are trying their hands on some small manufacturing business. In other words, they are entrepreneurs. Either they want to establish a small industry or they want to get engaged in commerce. It is important that they are encouraged by providing funds that they require for the purpose of establishing their own businesses. It would be my wish to create millionaires or even billionaires from our young lads, the same way that you have others who are from other states who can beat their chest to say they are billionaires, even at very young age. You have them in the east, there are so many. You have them in the north, people like Dangote. You have them in Lagos, people like Otedola. There's no reason why Ondo State cannot boast of 1, 2, 3, or even 10 entrepreneurs who have made their mark. There is hardly any entrepreneur that has not been assisted by government, either in terms of policy. Look at people like Dangote. When it comes to import policies, it is yes, it favors them. Yes. When you talk about Otedola, when you talk about oil sector, there are policies of government that favors them. Talk about some other people who are from the state, there are policies of government that favors them. So what I'm saying in effect is that there would be a deliberate policy on the part of government that I superintend over to encourage those critical entrepreneurs who are serious about their business to grow their businesses, grow the economy, and make money for themselves. And in effect, create jobs. And also as a follow-up, pay taxes to government. I want to plead to our people that 10th of October 2020 is a critical date in our life. It's a life that we either may or make or mar the state, permit the use of that word. It's a date that we have to reckon with. It's a date with history. It's a date that they have to give a validation to this administration to either confirm that, look, you're doing well, you stay, or to tell them that you're not doing well, you pack. And they should allow us to do this job the way we know it. What we intend to bring on board is honesty and transparency in all this. And once we are able to let our people know that and they believe in us, it will be easy for us to get a connect with them. And all of us will be partners in progress. In other words, they should vote for PDP. That's the summary of what I'm saying. And they should vote for us.
Thank you so much. Wow, viewers, I'm sure you've heard from our guests today, most especially the people of Ondo State, where we just have to call it a day. Follow us on all our social media handles. I still remain your host, Mercy Alexander. Bye and have a wonderful day.